Hello everyone and welcome back to my survival world, where today we're going to be continuing our very nice progress work on the village here. Last time we left off with actually getting the templates for all of the red buildings. These are going to be our taller buildings within the village, and you can kind of get a sense of what these things are going to be looking like so far. So kind of just outline the edges of the buildings as well as the sea lantern strips, but today we're going to be tasked with a couple things. So today in this episode, we're going to be trying to figure out obviously a block palette, and then we're also going to get started on building the actual buildings, getting them filled in and things of that nature. So I know for the block palettes, I don't want to stick it to exactly, the textured deep slate, the dark prismarine, and things like that, because I don't want everything to be the same block palette because it might blend in a little too much. So you kind of wanted to stand out, sorry. And I'm thinking that we kind of want to stick around the bluish, tealish kind of, color in the block palettes. I do know on these big side panels, I want to do some like inscribed detail patterns, kind of like we did on the Japanese village. Maybe prismarine might be good, or some warped wood, stripped warped logs. So some of our tests so far, we've been looking for, obviously we need a color, trim color, and then we also need a base wall texture. Now we're gonna set the wall in one block, and we're gonna do some probably prismarine bricks. We're gonna do some little designs and stuff on these walls, just trying a little bit of the warp block textured with this stripped warped log. I think we've had enough texturing for one day. And then the prismarine, I don't like that at all. And then over at this building, we're trying dark prismarine as this trim. I do actually like that because it pretty much fits with the build. And then I think this blue is actually kind of a nice base texture. I know we're gonna have stuff over it, but I think this is actually a nice base texture. And we also need something that's gonna be going on kind of the edges of the build. And I'm kind of torn between the bricks and the tiles, but the tiles are like really dark, whereas the bricks might not be, which might actually be kind of what we want. So as you can see here, for example, we have a base wall of white, and then we have, these spruce making little designs. And, we can put sea lanterns in there and stuff like that. All right, so after a lot of struggling and head scratching, this is what we've got so far. So I kind of started to fill in a little bit of the building here. We're going to try out the dark prismarine on the trims. We're going to do flat walls on the walls that have the sea lanterns. And then on these other blank walls, we're going to do some kind of interesting designs here. It's going to be pretty hard to kind of like replicate this a bunch of times over without taking literally forever. But I think I kind of have like a procedure, kind of starting with the middle sea lanterns and branching outwards, I guess you could say. I guess obviously finish this building because I have to do the other side because I still need some warped logs. I don't know if I'm gonna need to build a farm for that or something, but it depends on how difficult warp logs are actually to farm. We're just kind of finishing up this build here, this first building. And I think this slab should complete it, so let's go ahead and take down our scaffolding and see what we're looking like. I pretty much went for the same design as the other side, but this should be the very first building complete if we're going to stick with this kind of block palette and design. But I did spend some time getting some warped wood, and yeah, we're definitely gonna need a farm. So right now we're gonna be attempting to build a warped wood farm because, as you may have heard, I tried to do a little bit of warped wood like gathering in the nether, and that is actually not the wave. So I think we're just gonna build it inside the diamond converter, probably in this area right here. I don't know how much space I would need for like the cube maker, because what it's gonna basically do is grow the trees and then kind of push them all into like a giant cube thing. So I'm thinking I kind of want to build it in this corner, pushing that way. That's gonna be the goal anyways. So here's the resources that we prepared. Shouldn't be too intense. All right, so we now have this full monstrosity completed. I don't know if it works yet. So I guess we'll just do a live test. I think we should be good to go, but I'm not too sure. So I guess if we just hit this, something should happen. Oh. Oh, Lord. Okay. Well, we got one. Now, am I supposed to like be in here? Or? Oh. I'm so confused. Oh, there you go. There you go. Hey. Okay. Well, I ran out of the mushroom things, but we have something. We have something, so I guess we're gonna have like a cube, kind of. All right, let's see if this works. I'm hoping it does, because if it doesn't, that is tough. Moment of truth. What is that? Okay, so that warped wood farm that you might have saw in the last clip, basically I tried to use it a couple more times, but that thing was, it was 3 years old, the video, so it was pretty outdated, and the way it was constructed was to counter some old bugs regarding growing those types of trees, but those bugs no longer exist, so that type of design of farm doesn't really make sense anymore. Plus, the farm was not that great to begin with, so we're going to be building a new farm. I have actually tested this design out, and I decided to move out of the diamond converter and over here, just so that I can build in the sunlight and I don't need to drink night vision all the time to see something. But I think this design will be a lot better, and you know, we're just going to build in this little area because I think it's somewhere that's not too out of the way, plus it's at my main base, the castle, so I think that should be pretty reasonable. So, alright, so after a few hours of work, our warped wood farm is fully finished. So here's basically what we got going on. Basically this design, you kind of start over here and it basically pushes the wood bits out and out again to a giant cube. So as you can see, basically all of these pistons will push, and then these ones will push once it gets over here, and then it kind of goes along this thing and then it gets pushed into a full cube. We also have a little detection system that will turn off the farm once it is full. So I know this kind of obstructed my pathway, but I don't really care that much. So yeah, I guess we're gonna, I haven't tried it yet, but I'm pretty confident it will work. So I guess we got bone meal, so I guess we're gonna try it live. So here we go. So we're gonna turn on the bone mealing, and then we're actually gonna speed this repeater up so it goes a little faster. And as we can see, hopefully we can start to see some wood getting put in and pushed along. Now this farm isn't gonna be great for the for farming this block, but I don't really want that block, I just want the wood. As you can see, we're pushing along here, and then hopefully soon we should get over to here and see what happens. One more. Okay, one more actually. Ooh. Well, I don't exactly know what happened there. Basically what's happening is when these pistons get powered, these target blocks, there's redstone on top of them. I think they're powering something else, which is powering this row of pistons a little bit. But I might have to check on that. Alrighty, so after a couple of hours, we're just now finishing up our technically our third building of the day. So here's what we got kind of going on. Basically, we've been kind of just makeshifting designs, not sticking to too much of a pattern, and kind of just going with something that looks good. But you know, doesn't necessarily have to be perfect. So let's go ahead and take a look at our finished build. So as we can see here, we have a nice tall building, and we have a little bit of a design here, which, you know, it's not the most perfect thing in the world, but I definitely think it's, you know, solid. The one thing that I do learn from this build is on this one I put a lot of prismarine bricks, which I definitely think I should do less of, but I don't think it bothers me to the point where I'll take it down, so I think I'm gonna just leave it. But there's the first big building we did, like big one. And then we also did a smaller one over here, which I think turned out pretty nice, just a small little building. But I'm actually pretty happy with it. So let's go ahead and get one quick look at what this is looking like from far away. A little bit up here. And I think it is starting to look very nice. I think it fits with the color theme of the rest of the build pretty nicely. So I'm pretty excited to see what this is gonna look like when all the buildings are in place. Alright, so unfortunately, as I was doing one of my world tours, when I came over to the Super Mario Galaxy build, I found that one of my pirate ships, I think, got struck by lightning and burned down quite a lot here on the top. So one of these ships has a big old hole in it, and I guess I'm gonna try and repair it. I don't think I need to look at the schematic that I used to use a long time ago, but yeah, there's a big hole in my building. I mean, they completely burned down this like wooden post for the propellers. They burned down everything. So I'm probably gonna take a little bit to see if I can repair this, but it should hopefully I can do it pretty easily. Alright, and just a few finishing touches on this wooden post that got burned. And I think we should be good to go. Oh shoot, let me make a couple of these. There we go. Chop this down again. Boom, 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 boom. Do this, and there we go. So let's do one quick check to see if I did successfully repair everything. I think I did. Looking good. So now our broken pirate ship is all back in order, looking beautiful as ever. Alrighty, so it has been a couple more hours and we've been getting some more buildings done. So right now we're finishing up the third building of this stream that I'm working on. So as you can see, for this design we decided to try out a little bit of a heart design on the outside of the building, because we did find a building finally that had a 1-block center. It's actually surprising how many have 2-block centers that I've built on accident, I guess. But here is this building completely finished. So here's what this is looking like. A very nice and simple heart design, looking nice and amazing. And then we also finished this building right here. Now this design, I don't really know what happened. I was kind of trying to make a face at the top, but it kind of just went into this. And you know, I mean, it is. And I just realized the mistake, actually. Wait, is there a mistake? Yeah, there is. Alright, let me fix that real quick. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, the design, I kind of like it. I like it enough to where I don't want to take it down. So I'm probably just going to leave it and kind of move on. But I did notice this mistake right there. So there we go. I got that fixed up. And then we also got this little building done, which I actually kind of like this design. I don't really know what it looks like, but I like it. So we got a face one, we got maybe a football one, and then we have this very nice heart building that actually turned out really well. So after about another 3 hours of building and a little bit the previous night, here's another building done. So let's update you guys on what buildings we have completed. So we did this little tiny building here just to kind of finish up. We have this building here. Somebody in the stream was wanting to do ducks. There was a couple of people who wanted to do ducks. So somehow we managed to make a building design based on ducks, which is kind of interesting. We have a little building over here that kind of has like a sine and cosine wave going, or a double helix DNA design look going on. And then this one is actually one of my new favorites. We originally wanted to go for a flower design, but it kind of went towards a 4-leaf clover, and we did 3 of them, kind of looking like a gearbox, maybe something along those lines. So let's go ahead and take a fly around the village and see what we're looking like so far. You can kind of see how this is starting to piece together pretty nicely, actually. So there's a little bit of a look here. We got all the different buildings coming in. So we are doing very good so far. I think at some point we might hold like a vote on which has the best building design, you know, at the end for fun. But I definitely think that these 3 are going to be the top contenders: the clover, the heart, and the ducky design. After a little more building, we are starting work on another building here. We finished a couple buildings earlier in the stream, which I'll show you in just a moment, but it has still been a pretty smooth and nice process. This This building I was actually planning on putting PA9 on the side, so I think we're gonna end up doing that. But the two other buildings we finished, we got this kind of daisy chain looking one. This is kind of like almost like a train track, and there's different carts on the train. That's how I kind of saw it. I think that one's kind of nice. And then this one I'm really happy with. This is a maze design that somebody suggested. So we have a maze, and as you can see, if you do follow it, you can actually solve it. So it does work. It does work. It may not be the most elaborate design in the world, but it does work, so I really like that. And then obviously it's the same thing on the other side. Let's go ahead and get a look at what we got going on from a little bit far away. I like that one looking good. And then this one is looking swell as well. So this one's gonna be PA9 because it's a nice and big one. All right, so right now we're finishing up a very important building, as you might have seen in the last clip. This is going to be our PA9 building. So, you know, we gotta represent ourselves, you know, make sure that we watermark and trademark everything in case, well, just because I feel like it, if you will. So here's going in our last P for Perch 9. There you go. For PA9, I should say. So let's go ahead and get a look at it from afar. And there we go. So as you can see, it is a little bit dark at nighttime, but I was trying some different sea lantern placements, and these were the ones I liked the best. So I think I'm just gonna have to go with it because I was trying the other sea lanterns and they just looked nasty. But at nighttime it might be a little dark, but at daytime I am very happy with this. So I think it pretty well matches, blends in with the other designs. And obviously it says PA9, so you know, that's a W trademark, if you will. Another couple buildings down in the books here. So let's place in a couple more stairs, and now we can see what we are looking like. So I think since the last clip, since the PA9 building, we've finished 2 more buildings. So here is the most recent one. Kind of a strange design, but the closest thing I could relate it to is maybe like a Beyblade. If you look at the middle, it's kind of like the part where you spin it, and then you have the two, like, you know. And then before that we had this design. It does look kind of similar, and this design was kind of using a different stair technique. This one is also pretty simple, and you know, I hate to admit it, but I might be running out of design ideas after doing so many of these, so some of these might be a little lackluster, but it's okay. But anyways, this one kind of looks like a watch, somebody pointed out, so shout out to them. I think I might be able to see it as a watch, but let's go ahead and get a look at what the village is looking like. We only have 3 buildings left after this of the red kind, and then we start on the mammoth that is the pink and purple. So as you can see, the village is looking beautiful. Looking beautiful. After a very interesting stream of building a couple more buildings, we are finally on the last one here. So here goes in the last few trapdoors. So now we are fully complete with all of the red template buildings. So let me show you the new buildings that we've been working on. So first off, the most recent one is a smiley face building. As you can tell, my ideas were kind of running short, so we did a smiley face for the last one. Before that, we did this kind of a design, which kind of looks like one of those carnival rides where they have like 2 things that you can sit in, and it like spins it around, and you know, you get all dizzy and everything. That's what that kind of looks like. And then we have another building over here, which is a little bit of an interesting one. We're using some kind of stairs and slabs to make rectangles, and then these little other things. I don't really know what this looks like at all, but I'm pretty pleased with it. So now with all these buildings finished, let's actually go ahead and have a look at what we are looking like. It is nice that it is nighttime, because I guess we can get a better look for what's going on here. So here is my first time looking at it. Ooh, okay. This is my first time seeing everything filled in with the prismarine bricks and warped wood at the back, and I will say that it is really fitting the theme. Oh wow, okay. Now we are cooking. Very nice, very nice, very nice. Okay. Okay, okay. Look at that beautiful P&I building. That is such a nice building. But yeah, I think this is looking pretty good. So with that being said, with all of your red template buildings complete, it is almost update day. So the next you'll probably see from me is going to be of the new 1.21 update coming out on June 13th. So I think this is a nice place to end this video here. For any of you who made it to the end, thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. And please leave any comments or critiques down in the comments section down below. And I hope we'll see you guys again very soon. The new update will be coming out, so I'll be sure to have a lot of fun exploring that and things of that nature. But I want to thank y'all for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.